edition of the Comic Anthologist. And if you are tuning in for the first time, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell to get also other updates and also to let us know that you enjoyed this webcast. Any case, we're going to talk about today the character that first appeared in Morphon Comics, number 1978. Number 78, not 1978, but number 78. Back in November.
You're getting your years messed up again.
Yeah, I know. From November 1941, and we are talking about the character known as Aquaman.
And we previously talked about Aquaman in a previous episode before, but this time we're talking about the movie. And
yes,
needless to say, I enjoyed it.
The film was off the chain, and I wouldn't be surprised if the film gets an Academy Award in terms of special effects. Or whatnot.
Yeah, because watching the film, basically, I should say, people were having conversations underwater and it seemed natural. It didn't seem like it was
staged or fake or anything.
Yeah.
And the way they made the water, made the hair move in the water and the movements and whatnot, it was just all naturally done, which I've never seen before. So
right. They did a damn good job on it.
Exactly. The film was, I give high praise to Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah,
he owned that character. That's all I can say about that.
Right.
He owned the character, and it was a nice touch on the origin story in terms of how he came to be and how his mother was on the run from the other Atlanteans because of what she did.
Also, too, I liked the fact they put Black Manta's origin in there too.
Yes.
And his motivations for coming after Aquaman or whatnot.
But I will say this about Black Manta, the person that did play Black Manta. No offense to your work as an actor, because I know how hard it is to try to act in a suit like that.
Right.
But at the same time, it was just a little bit too much over the top, because his characterization of Black Manta kind of reminded me of Poison Ivy a little bit from Batman and Robin, which we won't even talk about that travesty that came out back in the day. But his characterization, me being an actor myself, not to blast you, but you could give it a little bit more depth instead of turning it into something that's just two-dimensional. Give it three-dimensional.
I'm pretty sure he's going to have plenty of shops to work with, because he's going to be already signed up to be on multiple films coming in the future.
Because that was a nice origin, but like I said, with this character or whatnot, usually the villain is the one that makes the film in terms of the movie, but this is one of those times it wasn't the villain in terms of Black Manta, but actuality, it was Patrick Wilson playing Orn, which is Ocean Master, and his half-brother, whom that's one of the reasons why the Queen went on the run in the first place and ended up hooking up with Arthur Curry's father, the lighthouse keeper, who ended up siring him. So that, to me, right there, she chose happiness and chose to do the right thing, despite everybody else in her. Well,
let's not give away too much, because there may be a lot of people out there that still haven't seen the film.
That's true. That's true. But it's just in this part of the film, I wanted to say is that sometimes you have to do something that seems like it's the wrong thing to do, which you know is the right thing to do, despite all odds, and do what you need to do in order to make things work. And that's one of the main issues of the film I don't have with, but in actuality, it's a positive issue. It's a thing that was the thing that was carried throughout the film in terms of Aquaman doing the right thing, despite all the wrong that kept happening around him.
Right, exactly. So, my take on it was basically, I enjoyed it. I do agree with my brother about Black Manta. It was a little bit over the top, but not too much. It was just enough, as far as, in my opinion, to the point where I understood the villain's machinations of what he wanted to do.
Aquaman. His motives and everything, I get that. That's what
so, and one of the things I look forward to is him being the main villain in the next Aquaman film, as opposed to
just being a side villain,
or just a
side,
or an extra villain, I should say.
Well, yeah, because anytime you have just an extra villain, it kind of takes away from the story, and we've seen this in the history of superhero films,
like Spider-Man 3.
I was about to say the same thing. Spider-Man 3 is a perfect example where they shoehorned too many villains in one film.
Especially how they did Venom. But we won't talk about that.
This is not about Marvel, but this is about Aquaman and DC Comics and the movie itself. And overall, I would have to give the film, in my opinion, I would give the film an 8.5.
I would just give it an 8.
Okay.
Just period. But regardless of the fact, I thoroughly enjoyed the film, point blank.
The reason why I would give it an 8.5 is because of one, the special effects, and two, they did respect the material in terms of the stories that was treated into it, which is, if you get a chance to read the comic book adaptations of them, the
Yeah,
graphic
read the
novels.
trade paperbacks like The Throne of Atlantis,
Exactly.
The Trench,
Yes.
and I know where they had the DC Rebirth, like the first few issues, and Aquaman was dealing with Black Manta again
Yes.
multiple times. So
Yes.
anything that with Aquaman versus Black Manta was really good. It's worth it. So.
Oh, and one other thing I wanted to mention. They treated that whole. Remember how we talked about with the Aquaman episode? We treated they treated basically him talking to the fish, and
Yeah.
talking to the sea creatures with respect.
Yeah, it wasn't just I'm going to use my whoop 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 whoop. He just went straight, did it, and talked to the fish,
and it
he understood
worked.
them, and the fish understood him, and then he understood the fish, and
it
they
worked out
communicated
perfectly.
back. Yeah.
That's the one thing that I enjoyed most about it is that they did not treat him like a second-rate character. They gave him all the respect
Right.
and the gravitas that was needed to make this movie work.
Absolutely.
So I would honestly have to say, go out there and check out Aquaman whenever you get the chance.
I highly recommend it.
It's a highly recommended film through and through. Otherwise, with having said that, this is the Comic Anthologist, and thank you for tuning in. And once again, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and also hit that bell to get other updates, and also to let us know that you liked it or not. And if you want to reach us with any kind of questions, you can reach us at thecomicanthologist@gmail.com. Until then, take it easy. Peace.